I'm beginning to work on my Easter tablescape today, and I came across the perfect piece of inspiration. These blue salad plates. I'm Nicole with Adorn the Table, and whenever I'm starting a tablescape table setting, I always need some source of inspiration to help give me ideas and build off of, to go from there in creating the rest of the table setting, the overall look and feel, and the other colors that I'm going to be using in it. So when I found these salad plates at a secondhand store, they just spoke to me because I think this blue is perfect for spring and for Easter. Now, I know these plates don't have an Easter theme on them. There's no bunnies, there's no eggs, there's nothing else that really screams Easter. But I think I can take them and really make them work on an Easter tablescape. I'm thinking if I can find either placemats, a table runner, or maybe even a tablecloth that will give me that Easter feeling and has this blue color in it, that will then help me build off of and create a fabulous Easter table setting. So I found this tablecloth at Home Goods, and the blue of the flowers matches my plates perfectly. It is going to make a wonderful foundation for my Easter tablescape. Unfortunately, there were not any matching napkins, and I don't own any napkins that I thought would coordinate well with it. So I picked up this pretty soft pink gingham fabric, and I'm going to make napkins to go with my tablecloth. Look how perfectly those pinks match. That's why I'm in the laundry room right now. This gingham is 100% cotton, which means it will most likely shrink, and I need to make sure that any shrinkage happens before I actually transform this fabric into napkins. So I'm going to wash the cotton in hot water, and then I'm going to put it in the dryer. After which, I'm going to show you how to make DIY no-sew napkins. So the first thing I want to do now that I've completed washing and drying my fabric is this is what's referred to as the selvage. And I want to make this edge as straight as possible. Since I'm using 100% cotton, there's a really easy way to do this. The first thing I need to do is I need to take my scissors, and I'm going to cut about a ½ inch. So actually, first let me show you how, when this is cut from the fabric store, it's not cut in a straight line. You can tell easily here about where the squares are, how it's not a straight line. And I need to make sure that that's a straight line. So I'm going to pick right next to one of my squares of my gingham. And I'm going to cut about 1 inch of the way down. You can kind of see here how I've cut 1 inch of the way down. And then what I'm going to do is, since this is 100% cotton, I'm going to rip it. You cannot do this with a cotton poly blend or rayon or any synthetic material, only 100% cotton. So watch as I just kind of rip. And then when I get down to this selvage, I need to cut this off. It's not going to rip as easily. But what that has done now is it's actually given me a perfectly straight line down my fabric. Since I'm going to be making napkins, I now want to measure the width that I want my napkins to be. I think I want a finished napkin of about an 18-inch by 18-inch square. I am planning on having the ends be rough. I'm not going to be sewing anything, so that means the ends are going to fray, and I'm going to want to measure past 18 inches. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to measure about a 19 inches. And at the 19 inches, I'm going to do the same thing, where I'm going to snip about a ½ inch down, and then I'm going to tear the same way I did the very first time. Now I have a length of fabric that is exactly 19 inches wide. I want to do the same thing going the other direction now, and that's going to end up giving me a 19 by 19 square piece of fabric. So I'm going to start with this selvage. I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to cut past the selvage because I need to remove the selvage, which is preventing my fabric from giving me that frayed edge that I want. Now, if you really want this kind of finished edge that the selvage gives you, you can leave that if that's something you choose. But in this case, I'm not going to do that. And then from this edge, I'm going to measure my 19 inches. And do the same thing. There we have it. I have my first 19 by 19 inch square piece of fabric. And what I want to do now is I actually want to take these ends and I am going to pull them off of my fabric to give enough of a frayed edge as to what I want it to look like. And now I'm going to continue doing the same thing with the rest of the fabric and the remaining fabric so that I have 6 19 by 19 square napkins, which will then, after I fray them, all end up being about an 18-inch square. Now that I have my 6 perfect 18 by 18 inch square napkins, they are wrinkled from when I washed them, so I'm going to give them a quick light press to get those wrinkles out. And next time you'll see them, we'll be creating our Easter tablescape. I want to share with you how to create the centerpiece I'm going to be using on my Easter table. First, I'm going to be starting with this dough bowl. I actually found this at a thrift store recently and I absolutely love the size of it. It's nice and wide for a centerpiece, and it happens to perfectly match the bunny that I found at Target, which I shared in a recent video. I'll make sure I share the link to that video for you. So here I'm just going to put the bunny in the middle of my dough bowl, and then I grabbed this grapevine garland from Joann's. It's one that you can form kind of on your own. So let me first snip the tag off of this, and then I'll kind of show you what my idea is, and hopefully my idea will work, because sometimes, you know, you have a vision in your head and it doesn't always come to fruition the way you planned for it. So first I'm going to unravel some of this. And let's cut some of it off, because then it will be easier to work with. I might end up using some more of that, but for now I want to kind of play with what I have here. Okay, now for the fun part. Let's see. My idea is to take flowers from these stems that I bought and pull them off, kind of like so, and then sit them inside of my grapevines to really give them some fun color and add that springtime look. But they also match the tablecloth that I have. I'm going to just continue to add the flowers as I go here. I like the way this is turning out. And then I got some of this ivy that I thought, I honestly can't decide if I'm going to put the whole stem in here or if I'm going to take off a few of the individual pieces. So let's try the individual drapes first, and then I'll make that decision. So I think I'm going to take some of the individual ones and wind them around my grapevines, but then I think I'm going to take these other two and lay them inside so that they're draping out and over my dough bowl. So I decided I really like the way that this ivy is just draping inside and out. So I am taking off the individual pieces like so, and I'm just laying them in here so that they drape over in a way that I want, but then also that the ends are hidden as well. Okay, I have everything I need to style my Easter tablescape. I have my DIY no-sew pink gingham napkins and my DIY Easter centerpiece, which I think turned out so freaking cute. I'm really excited to put it on this table. Now, let's put it all together. I have my tablecloth already set on my table, and I decided for this table setting that I was going to add cloth placemats on top of my tablecloth. Some people don't like combining tablecloths and placemats. I obviously have no problem doing it, and I really like the way these light green placemats look next to or on top of this tablecloth, especially how they have this floral shape to them. I found these at an estate sale recently, but when I was at HomeGoods, I noticed that they still have them, so you can easily pick them up at HomeGoods yourself. Now I want to add my centerpiece to the middle of my table, and I'm doing this because it's going to make sure that I have all of my glasses and everything else in the right positions, and I don't need to rearrange anything later. For my plates, I am going to be using these white enamel ones that I found at a thrift store, and I just love the shape and the silver edge that they have to them. They have kind of a bit of a bowl shape to them. And here are those blue salad plates that were the inspiration that kind of really started the idea for this Easter table setting. Look how perfectly they sit inside of the white plate. For my flatware, I'm using the same green-handled pieces that I used for my St. Patrick's Day place setting. I like how the green picks up the darker green in the tablecloth. For my drinking glasses, I thought it'd be fun to combine vintage and new. When I was at HomeGoods, I found these clear, dusty pink water glasses, which I love this kind of hobnail and the texture on the outside. But the best part is how perfectly they match the pink in my tablecloth. Then for the vintage glasses, I'm going to use these wine glasses, which I think when placed next to the pink glasses, they pair wonderfully together. And they're very spring looking. To incorporate my pink gingham napkins into my place setting, I had two ideas. And the first was to fold it like a bunny, like this. It's really cute and definitely speaks to Easter. I especially love how I brought in the blue ribbon here. So if you like that, you can definitely look up online how to fold your napkin like a bunny. I liked it, but I honestly wasn't quite won over by it. For the second idea I had for my napkin was to find the center on the underneath and pull it into a point. Then to take some ribbon. I have two different ribbons. This is one of them. And then there was the wide one that I used on the bunny. And these are ribbons I already had. I did not go buy them. They are not new. And I definitely believe in pulling with what you already have, kind of shopping your home first. So I'm going to take the skinnier of the two ribbons right now, and I'm going to slip it underneath about a third of the way down from the top of my napkin tip. And I'm going to just create a simple knot with my ribbon. I didn't have enough ribbon to make long bows. That's okay. So I'm just going to tie this into a simple knot, and then I'm going to take and flip it over. Let's see, maybe the back side. No, let's go with this side. And I had faux flowers left over from when I was creating my centerpiece. I'm going to just slip one of those inside, right in the middle like that. I love the presentation, how it has a very sweet feel to it. Sometimes people ask the question, when you do something like this for your napkin and your guest now has a ribbon and a faux flower, where do they put these pieces when it's time to eat? Well, the ribbon you can just take off and they can sit next to them. The faux flower though, wouldn't it be fun for them to find a place in the centerpiece and just add it to the centerpiece? Then it's not sitting on the table and it's not randomly placed someplace, but they can actually add to the overall look of the centerpiece. So that's a fun idea. So I'm going to take my second idea and I'm going to put one of each of those arrangements in the middle of my place setting. The very last thing I'm going to add to my tablescape are these delicate place cards that I can use a dry erase marker to write my guest's name on. I'm going to just take and put it in the top left corner of my place setting. They also came in a pink and a blue. There was also a yellow, but the yellow is too bright, so I'm just going to use the orange, the blue, and the pink on my table. But when you add a place card to your table setting, it really makes your guests feel invited and wanted to sit down at the table with you. I hope you liked this Easter tablescape. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and have a wonderful time with your friends and family. Bye.